You could have said. Thank you.
So it's a motion to approve and has during the discussion, but it's a motion to approve. And then you vote for both.
Yeah. You sure you don't need this? Cause I can pull it up on my phone. You're okay?
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. U and A.
Many nights.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. The pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask for a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Do I have a second?
Second,
Any discussion?
Who was the first one? Sorry.
he did it himself.
Okay, go ahead.
Under discussion, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include the engineer's report in tonight's agenda.
What number will that be?
Where do you wanna add it?
Be at,
Communications, you mean?
yes, in communications, number 4. Thank you.
I will second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On discussion? So moved. Okay. Public comment? Yes.
Gordon Smith, 235 Belleville Road. I'm just wondering if you guys have had an opportunity to discuss sidewalks in the hamlet and what decision that you have come to. And I also just wanted to state, because I saw on the agenda that you may be possibly talking about sign ordinances in the town. And I just wanted to remind you that a political opinion is protected by the First Amendment. So in the town has very limited amount of things that they can restrict a signage for. And I just want to make sure that you're understanding that, to be reasonable. I did review the sign ordinance that's currently in place. And it seems pretty restrictive now. So I don't think that it needs any more restriction.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, public comment is closed. Communications, starting with the town clerk.
As of today, well, as of last week, the taxes that were due to the town have been paid in full. I've submitted the fourth quarter gross payroll numbers to PERMA. Process payroll number 3, that was paid on January 30th. Assisted with the vouchers and prepared both abstracts for the month. We worked on the new SDL program that's most likely going to be implemented within the next couple of weeks. So we're getting ready to go live with that by probably the middle of March. I prepared all the information for the longevity payments to be paid out. And I met with Corey Brook, Joe, Rebecca, and Tom Fromberger and his associate Lori regarding all the open projects throughout the town. And that's all I got.
Okay. Starting with the town board,
Just go down.
Tom, want to begin?
Yep, there was not a ZBA meeting. this month. We have scheduled the highway meetings for the fourth Wednesday in every month. And the code enforcement officer and myself have been working on the sign ordinance like the last month. And once it's completed, we would like to turn it over to the town attorney for review, see if there's any conflicts, see if it's enforceable, and if it's staying up to court of law.
Awesome.
And I know deputy supervisor isn't getting any younger. We'll do it as fast as we can, Mo.
Yeah,
I attended the Climate Smart Task Force meeting on February 3rd. We discussed adding the missing members to the committee, such as the additional town resident, a town employee, and a student representative. We went over the certification action checklist and how to address the priorities. We divided up the 10 sections, and we're going to work in groups to identify areas that we can begin to focus on for next month's meeting. I am curious where we are with the town employee annual required training courses, such as the workplace violent prevention, the New York State sexual harassment and discrimination, the hazard communication of bloodborne pathogens. Wondering if there's an update on the Mendon Youth Center, how many students have been attending the center. And I was looking at the agenda and I'm wondering if we are going to revisit the resolution that we tabled for the attorney conflict of interest with Southco last month.
okay.
Okay, so I also attended the Climate Smart Communities Task Force meeting with Kim. Don't need to repeat what she said. We are going to also create an action plan for that to get ourselves a little bit more organized. But there's a lot of enthusiasm among the group to identify some areas that we can work on in the next couple of years. We did post, I don't know if I say this or if you do, Joe, an advertisement for the town resident. We're still looking for a position for. So we've been, maybe that's on the agenda. So we've been receiving some resumes for that over the last week or two. I also met with Lila Grills, the library director, a couple of weekends ago to get better acquainted with the library and governance and their initiatives and interests, and also attended their monthly meeting last week and learned about the Sustainable Libraries initiative that they're a part of, which is much like the Climate Smart Communities task force, but looking at library specific. I learned about some improvements to the buildings and their long-range planning that they're going to be gearing up to do again in the next year. And also learned that they have a grant with CauseWave to look at ways to advertise and celebrate the 15-year anniversary of the new building. So it was a great meeting, and I definitely got a really good sense from the group there that they're looking to be partners and collaborators with the town in more meaningful ways going forward. So it was a great meeting. And I also attended a couple of meetings with MRB with Joe, and one meeting that Michelle referenced and a meeting before that to go over the various projects that are underway, including the sidewalks project, and understand the status of each of those and what we need to understand to move them forward.
Yeah.
Great. Pretty busy month overall. One thing Rebecca forgot to mention is she and I went out, thank you, Peter, and met with the highway employees. Had a really fantastic opportunity to carve away from time with them salting and plowing the roads over the past month. Really appreciate them inviting us out, and great to see the equipment and hear how we can help them be more successful in keeping our town going. So thank you.
Yep.
The planning board meeting was canceled last week, so we'll look forward to the meeting later this month. For training, I did a training for conflict of interest after the discussion last month, and then did social media for town training. And then finally, I have a couple copies, did a query around New York State to identify other volunteer EMS contracts that cross municipalities so that we can look and see how their funding mechanisms align with ours. We'll also take it down in the training next week to get advice from the New York Association of Town to see if there's recommendations on how we should shift or adjust our funding mechanism for our EMS service between Mendon, Honey Eye Falls, and West Bloomfield.
Okay.
That's it.
I took the conflicts of interest training too. I forgot about that one. The Association of Towns. It's good training.
Okay, I've had a pretty busy couple weeks here. I met with the library. I attended a couple of committee meetings. I met with the Climate Smart Group. I also had a meeting with the New York State Secretary of State. That was really interesting. He came in with an entourage of people that were all connected to funds, which was really nice to hear about. So we have a lot of projects in mind that looks like we may be able to apply for more funds than I ever thought. So at the very least, I'll be sitting down with some of these people that I met and learning more about funding sources so that we can fund some of these projects that we wanted to. So that was good. I also met with the CARP group, which is through Monroe County. They're concerned with the climate and educating towns as to what the towns can do to mitigate environmental costs and clean up the environment the best we can. So that's in its very early stages, but I did attend the meeting of a lot of town supervisors were in on that meeting. And I expect I'll be learning more going forward. There was a lot of questions coming up this week about renting the community center. There is an insurance requirement. We mentioned at last month's meeting. And a lot of people were confused about that. So we put out a statement to all of the people that have inquired about renting the community center, that all they have to do is contact their insurance company. Their insurance company can provide a rider that names the town of Mendon just for the days they're renting the facility. It's free to them. All they have to do is call their insurance agent. The insurance agent or company can forward that directly to the town. So that should simplify it, and we'll find some ways to communicate that to the public. Amy will be calling people that have inquired already and actually reserved the center. And we'll get some communication out there to the public. And use all our channels to do that. EV charging station, I've been looking into that. We have a defunct one over at the library. A lot of people would like to see that up and working again. I have talked to a number of town supervisors that have already done this. A lot of them, it cost their town nothing to do. So we'll be looking into exactly what they did and how they did it for free and try to mitigate any cost to the town to get that done. So I'm sure, Tom, I'll be talking with you about it a little bit too. So we are working on that. And the cyber security training certifications, there's 4 to 5 of us that have completed that. It's required to be done by the end of the year. We're asking everybody. It's an online class. It was interesting and informative and necessary. So, anything we can do to educate people and help protect the town, we want to do. And that's about it. That's about all I have. Megan, were you able to talk about what Rebecca brought up, or I'm sorry, Kim brought up on the with the South Code deal?
Oh, sure, yeah, so you'll recall that last month, there was a resolution to approve a conflict of interest with regards to South Code. There was one for Buggy Whip 2 that passed, that has been resolved, that is not a problem. But South Code currently has 1 year of a tax challenge pending. When I did a transition meeting with Brian Marionetti, he asked who will be taking it over. So that's why I brought it to the supervisor's attention. It is in court, so you actually have to like file an actual substitution of attorneys. And so certainly that's something that Hardesty Crescent Emory has the capability to handle, but as I disclosed at the last meeting, Southco is a labor and employment client of Hardesty Crescent Emory too, so technically it's a conflict of interest. But the reality is I don't do any work with the lawyers who represent Southco. We can segregate it in our system. That being said, if you would prefer not to bring that resolution back up, and go with someone else, I can make recommendations. There's several really good tax defense practitioners that I work with often, and I'd be happy to make a recommendation for you to engage one of them.
I did speak with the assessor and he didn't have any issue, so I feel comfortable with it if he feels comfortable.
Otherwise,
Should we make it a motion to add it to the agenda tonight? That way we can discuss it.
Yeah.
So I'll move, go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, so I'll move to add the evaluation of conflict of interest for the town attorney in regards to the Southco contract to tonight's agenda as item number 6.
after the town supervisor's monthly report.
Yeah.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any discussion? So moved. So we've inserted that as to number 6.
Yeah, so go ahead and do the monthly report. I'm sorry, engineer report, highway.
Well, I've got town supervisor's monthly report, so you all have a copy of that. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, yeah.
We,
Pete Doyle?
I got nothing.
I don't believe that for a second.
Couple of things there, just to answer Kim's question about, we do staff training, it's been our practice to do it in April, that's fine, because we have a couple of guys that work, that be in the C shift and stuff like that, so we do all our annual training in April. As I reported last month, we were at 42 runs season to date, we're at 65 runs since January 20th, which is more than one a day, so we've been out in the morning, we've been out in the afternoons. So guys have been pretty busy. We did have a couple of little breakdowns this weekend due to the cold and wear and tear. That cold weather when it's 0 out is just brutal on the equipment. So a couple of quick fixes there today and tomorrow. Salt deliveries are slow. So I learned today to answer Joe's question about Pittsford and why I went into battle about road conditions. It took them 3 weeks to get 500 ton of salt. So we've been a little bit more proactive as far as ordering and delivering, and so far we aren't ahead of the game, but we're keeping up. So that kind of answers how come Clover Street, Route 64, Jefferson Road, and Pittsford have been a mess lately. So
On the Pittsburgh side.
on the Pittsford side. So, and they kind of have no connection with the salt mine as far as how come I'm winning, but there you go. We did take delivery of our cab loader last week. Everybody's gotten trained on it. It's a tremendous piece of equipment. Technology is phenomenal on these. As I said, Friday and Saturday, this past weekend were pretty long shifts for some of the guys that were on call. When we aren't doing that, we've been out fixing potholes, mailboxes and stuff like that. So we've gotten quite a bit of messaging, phone calls and stuff like that. Not a lot, but a fair number. The other question or place that I think we need to visit is healthcare. I just lost a potential candidate last week when Tom was supervisor, I don't know, November or whatever, December, we lost a guy that was going to come to work for Mendon from Gates, ended up going to Penfield. I interviewed a guy last week from Henrietta. Both these guys had a lot of experience, both with equipment, with plowing, with trucks and everything else. The guy that I met with from Henrietta told me he could not afford to come to work here because of the health care. It was going to cost him $277 per pay period because we do not have a family plan in communities. Plus that the HSA contribution from town of Henrietta, that versus what ours is, it would have cost him over 10 grand for healthcare. So I think this is something that we really need to visit. Like I said, staffing, we're down 2 guys realistically right now. So I think this is kind of one of those things that's pretty imminent that we really need to look at hard. So.
Is that something that changed recently that we don't offer family plans?
No, it's the same.
Didn't you say it, like a year or two ago, something changed, didn't it?
That's,
Oh, you wouldn't know, you would know.
Well,
Yeah,
a year or
5
two
years?
ago, they added the spouse approval back in. So it was just the employee for a little bit, and they allowed you to bring your spouse on. But we don't do the kids for the family because you can get it cheaper through Healthy New York for your children, but if your town or if your employer offers health,
Then you have to
family
go.
plan, you have to use that. So it's cheaper for people to use Healthy New York. That's why we never did a family. It allows people to
Interesting.
use that.
Okay, thank you.
healthcare is really becoming an issue as far as, I know even here in town hall, you got some young employees and stuff like that, as I do, and it's a hiring or, recruitment retention factor. So I think it's something that we really need to figure out sooner rather than later, so that we can have a plan moving forward. That's what I got.
Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Pete. Yeah, we've had these conversations in our
Right.
monthly meetings.
But it's real, it's a real issue.
I know it's a real issue and,
Yeah.
we're planning on doing some studying of it. I actually already have an appointment with someone to learn a little bit more about,
Okay,
and, maybe you could come to that meeting.
but I'd really like to, because we can't be, obviously, it can't be average or middle of the road, and I'm not even sure if we're middle of the road, if this guy's telling me it's, costing 10 grand in healthcare out of his wages,
Right, well, even the spouse covers 50%, if I understand
Right.
that, which that's on a
Yeah.
family plan, that's a lot of money.
It is, but I think that's where we need to be competitive. So,
I'm also gonna reach out to the town supervisors and, like polling questions.
right,
And ask them, what are their health plans like for their employees?
right.
I don't know if they'll give it to me.
Yeah. Hourly wage, we're in good shape, Dad, with, the hourly wage and stuff like that, with, vacation and all that kind of stuff, but that part of the benefit package, but like I said, healthcare is huge right now.
Did you get, there was a third person? Wasn't there?
No,
It was just the two?
Well, I have a part-time guy that, he's not gonna make it. So, yeah, but those were, these were two well-experienced guys that would have been really good hires. So,
Okay. Thanks, Pete, appreciate it.
thank you.
I'll let you know about. we'll
Okay.
get together on that. So. Okay, moving on to the town supervisor.
Wait, here's the board.
Sorry. I wrote it in there, but I couldn't.
Sorry, Joe. From engineering standpoint, we met with the supervisor, we went through the grant opportunities, for different funding sources, we're gonna continue to monitor that as different programs come out. We reviewed the records retention portion of it, and the upcoming, application for that, and the status of it. In regard to 13 Victor Mendon Road retaining wall, we had some discussions on that and looking to set up a meeting with the owner again to talk about that project. Miles Square sidewalks, just as a reminder, town received a 50% grant amount for about $115,000. We are working with the town attorney. I spoke with her today. And we're gonna work on finalizing some of the easements that need to be done in order to proceed with that. We did get acknowledgement from Monroe County to move forward with it. Stony Lonesome Road closure. We did receive DOT and DEC approvals. We are having some additional discussions with the DOT. I had a phone call with them today in regard to potentially some different layouts. In regard to Menden, Dresbach, soccer fields, we've had some discussions in regard to the additional efforts to be done by the DPW or basically to complete the grading out there to extend the soccer fields further back. And so the winter work is no longer winter work because it's definitely focused on plowing. Planning board applications and procedures, we sent a draft over for review and that's being taken a look at. Assembly Drive, those are still under some discussions and review. Menden sidewalk projects, study of that, still need to coordinate with DOT and the town. Menden Green was also mentioned on our list about their request to close out the letter of credit, and we're just not ready to do that. That's all I have.
Good, thanks, Tom. I'll add that there's 3 of these items that we are gonna pay closer attention to and work hard to complete them. And one is the sidewalk from 251 down to the I Station Trail. The other is the Stony Lonesome, and the third one is the retaining wall. So those 3 we're gonna concentrate on and work hard to complete those. So, okay. That concludes the communication portion. Okay. So now I'll make a motion to approve the town supervisor monthly report that you have in your packet. All right. We would put in the agenda to approve December and January. January is not yet prepared, so we're only approving December tonight.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Any discussion over that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Advertisement results, Community Engagement Advisory Committee and Climate.
South Coast.
March.
South Coast.
Okay, South Coast.
So this is a discussion point. We amended it and
Okay, any discussion on the South Coast?
No, I also spoke with the assessor and he didn't believe it'd be an issue.
I talked with a colleague that's also an attorney. Said that this happens relatively frequently. The language proposed is sufficient, that it protects our town with very minimal risk. So, I mean, I'm comfortable. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you for the language. I think there's very low risk of anything for the town. I'm comfortable moving forward with it.
Okay. We have a motion to.
Authorize the waiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
All in favor of approving that motion?
Who made it?
Who made the
Second.
Made the motion.
Everybody was doing this.
I did the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, yeah, seconds. All in favor?
I
So moved. Now, the town supervisors monthly report in your packet. We have a motion
Advertisement
to
results.
approve that.
Advertisement results.
We did the supervisor's monthly report.
Yeah.
We're on advertisement.
Okay, advertisement results, Community Engagement Advisory Committee and Climate Smart. I think we already covered this, Kim.
it seems this is just a discussion point.
It is.
We have not advertised for the Community Engagement Advisory Committee yet because we wanted to take care of some, Kim pointed out that there were some amendments to the original resolution that would be needed before we could do that. But the Climate Smart Communities, we did talk about it, but we didn't talk about how many letters of interest we've received, which I think it's 2, from what I can tell. We've received 2, and it's open until the 21st, 13th. So a few more days to receive letters of interest from the community. I think it's only posted on the town website right now. Is that right?
Should know set.
And in the Sentinel?
Board. It's on the website.
It's all over.
And it was on Facebook.
And if we paid for the ad for it.
So a few more days and then we'll interview our
Okay,
folks.
thanks for the update.
You bet.
Okay, 7, Historic Preservation Commission. We're looking, this is another discussion point. We're looking for an architect for that committee. Kim had recommended a couple. We reached out. They didn't seem to be interested. Amy did some work for us. Got a list of 5 different architects. I'll be sending communication out to them this week. And we'll see who's interested. So we're moving forward with that. Number 8, I have update from Highway, Pete Doyle on the LED lights.
Kevin just received a 3rd bid this morning. It was more than twice what we have received from the other 2 vendors. So I would propose that we go with the low bid that we had now. The light fixtures and everything else is, the availability is whenever we call and order them. So, Larry Kaplan, who's our electrician, you can't beat his rate and everything else for 45 bucks an hour. He's a call electrician here or whatever for the town. So, so we will be over $5,000 total, but it'll be less than 6, I would say, total. So Larry figured 2 days worth of labors.
Is there any action we need on that right now? I thought we proved that already.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9, update from the building department. This is another informational point. Corey's not here tonight, doesn't need to be. Rebecca, you had asked about stormwater.
Who took that off? Yeah.
Oh, you did remove
See,
it?
I don't see,
Still on there.
It's not on mine.
it's not on mine.
You must have a folder.
Okay,
It's here.
okay. Number 10, approval of supervisors' reports. That's a duplicate, right?
Town clerk's report.
So. The town clerk.
Approval of the town clerk report. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, approval of the minutes from January 20th, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 20th meeting.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Trainings, Town Board, New York City Annual AOT Conference. We have a motion to approve, let me see the list.
I can make the motion if you
Okay,
want.
please do.
I'll make a motion to request the town board's approval to reimburse Tanner Cheek, Joe Lottie, and Rebecca Cruiser for the cost of attending the Annual Association of Towns training and conference in New York City from February 14th to 17th at a cost not to exceed $6,750 for all 3 board members.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll just say that there will be minimal reimbursements to me. I'm gonna pay for my own cost for the most part, with the exception of the conference registration and maybe a couple meals.
Thank you.
The same with me. I actually have to be in New York City for work that weekend and Wednesday. So there will be no travel expenses or hotels for me as well. So
it'll
Thank
be
you.
less.
Wow, that's pretty nice benefit.
saving taxpayer dollars.
Okay, so All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, planning board.
I will make a motion to request the town board's approval to allow the planning board members to receive 1 hour of annual training credit for a proposed remote training session to be held on February 18th at 7 PM. The training will be held by the planning board attorney, Don Young.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
This is just part of their annual training that they're required.
There's nothing scheduled for the meeting that night, so instead of just having no meeting, we're gonna utilize that time to provide an hour's worth of training for the planning board members, which is required that they get up to 4 hours per year.
And is this in addition to some of the training we were hearing about from Tom that MRB would provide? Or
No,
No,
this
this
is
is
in
not.
addition.
it's an addition?
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
separate thing.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, Tanner, you want to do the building officials?
Yeah, so I'll move to allow Corey Gates and Tim Fest to attend the Finger Lakes Building Officials Annual Education Conference to be held March 9 through 11, 2026 at the RIT Inn and Conference Center.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, we have an addendum to resolution number 26-014, adopted January 5th, 2026, establishing the Community Engagement Advisory Committee. The resolution is quite long.
So I'll make a motion to amend resolution number 26014, adopted January 5th, establishing the Community Engagement Advisory Committee. The resolution for the audience, in that it's available online on the town website, so you can see it, but it just clarifies the mission of the advisory committee and some of the structural components, including things like two-year staggered terms, the number of committee members, and the scope of what the committee would be tasked with. So that's all laid out in our packet, and you can see it online too. And so the motion is to approve these elements.
All right, we'll second that motion.
Any? All in favor of the discussion?
I have a, sorry, Tom.
Okay.
I have a suggestion that under the scope, I guess, yeah, under the scope, the 4th bullet point, where it says coordinate and share information with existing town committees and community organizations such as the Village of Pontiac Falls. I think we should remove that.
Okay,
Because
similar.
we are the town board and we don't want to give up those authority that we have. And if we're letting this other committee share information, we don't have the control over what they're sharing.
Hmm.
We want this committee to tell us, give us suggestions on how to communicate with these organizations. We don't want them to do the communicating.
That's a good point. So with the village specifically, that's the part that
Well,
bothers you.
any of the town, other committees, public library, like, we have liaisons for a reason.
Mhm.
We all have a liaison to one of these boards, so I would just suggest removing that bullet point.
Well, I'm wondering if part of the reason for a committee like this isn't to help communicate to the rest of the community. So I'm not sure how much we're limiting. Or if we're accomplishing what the mission is with the group. I mean, part of it is to share information, correct? Also to advise the board.
Well, it's primarily to advise the board. If they were to actually go out into the community and do the communicating on our behalf, we would be advised that that was something that they were going to do and probably approve them to do that. But there is a point where just kind of understanding what others are saying and
Right.
doing.
We lose control of that. Like, I thought the purpose of this committee was to give us the information on how to best communicate to these people.
Yes.
So,
Maybe we can reword this bullet to not say share information, but just understand, kind of like coordinate where
I
possible.
think everything else has in it what the whole purpose of. So I just remove that fourth one.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm all right with that.
we want to make a motion to remove
I think
that.
Tom had something.
Tom has something too.
Now where you talk about the following, consists of following membership.
Mhm.
The fifth sentence, where it says members should be residents, I'd like to change it to shall be residents,
Okay, that's fine.
that should to shall.
Thanks.
Members should to shall. Okay. And this was originally what was the draft charter, basically almost word for word. One of my hopes, doesn't necessarily have to work out this way, but was that the inaugural committee would kind of finalize this. And come to us with, here's our suggestions for how to tighten this up even more. But this is an important and necessary starting point, so I like your suggestion. Change that to shall and change and remove this bullet point about sharing information. If we want to change that down the line, we can, but for now, it's a good point.
So the motion is to remove the word.
I think it's, do we need to make another motion to remove these words?
A motion to amend.
Okay.
Yeah, the proposed resolution for those two reasons.
I'll make a motion to amend the proposed resolution with, by removing the fourth bullet point
Mhm.
and changing the word to shall.
Yes.
Okay.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? So moved.
So do we need to accept the overall?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the.
This as well?
That was the corrected, right?
That's it.
Yes,
So now we need a resolution to approve the.
but we're still in the first motion,
Yes.
which came from Rebecca and Tanner.
We have
So,
stacked motions.
yes.
Okay,
So now we can return to additional discussion
okay.
with
Any further discussion on the addendum to the resolution and for establishing the Community Engagement Advisory Committee? No more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay.
So this is a follow on, so I'll just keep going with it, since I'm on a roll. So I'll make
We're up to sign regulation.
no
Website.
website,
But
webpage.
That looks like it's part, okay, I see it. Establishing a dedicated web page on the town website for the Community Engagement Advisory Committee. Make a motion to adopt. To adopt dedicating a web page on the town website for the Community Engagement Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, second to the motion, any discussion? All in favor?
Sorry,
Oh,
You have
wait,
discussion?
yeah,
Okay,
who will maintain, so
thank you.
Community Engagement Advisory Committee will recommend changes, updates, postings to the website to, I'm assuming Michelle, and then Michelle will coordinate the updating and posting.
yeah, it'll probably initially just be like the other committees where it's agendas and meeting minutes.
It's
but
informational only.
yeah,
Not, no discussion.
right.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay,
Can vote.
so moved.
No, vote.
No, we vote.
that was the discussion. We have to vote.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, sign regulation. We already had this discussion earlier in Tom's report, and since Tom and Corey are working on it, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
Well, I would like to table this. You know, until we get our final draft and the town attorney can review it.
I'll second that motion. Any discussion?
I think that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
I worked with the existing sign ordinance for 31 years. And
Yeah.
Corey's worked with it for 5 years, and we've been a lot of public input put into it. Then the Businessmen's Association put input in it, and I would hate to try to reinvent the wheel.
Very good.
So this resolution was saying that the town attorney was gonna kind of start from square
Yes.
one? Okay,
And I think if we do it in-house, it will save taxpayer money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we're tabling it. And you also have other resources like other towns that already have existing sign codes.
Yep.
So we don't have to reinvent the whole thing. Okay, so motion is to table the sign regulation.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Vouchers.
I move to approve all claims on vouchers number 26-046 to 26-058 on general abstract 26-2A in the amount of $31,805.07.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. General abstract B.
I make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 26-059 to 26-016 on general abstract 26-2B in the amount of $507,793.67.
Second.
Second.
Any
Just a-
discussion?
Yeah, just a high level overview. Some of the big items on that was the New York State retirement contribution and the fire protection district contribution to Honey Eye Falls. That took the vast majority of that.
Did you guys get the memo there, or the proposal there about the fuel system for the highway garage from Denise?
It's on here.
It's in there, it's in there. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
And lots of salt.
Yep, that's good. More like that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Highway abstract resolution.
I'll keep going. I move to approve all claims on voucher number 26-016 to 26-041 on general abstract 26-2 in the amount of $229,733.32.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
And
Okay,
then just an acknowledgement of the receipt of the library vouchers from February for vouchers number 12 to 17 in the amount of $3,565.97. We don't have to vote on that, just acknowledge that we received it.
Thank you.
okay, highway department fuel system upgrade.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the fuel system software upgrade to Gasboy EKOS cloud-based software. There will be a one-time setup fee of $3,000 and a monthly maintenance fee of $199 to be paid from DB 5110.4. Empire Petroleum Services will install the EKOS managed router for a one-time fee of $1,367 to be paid from the same account, DB 5110.4.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Go ahead.
There you go.
Was this a budgeted expense? What does this do?
Yeah. For the fuel system, well, go ahead.
There's anything else.
It's for fuel system upgrades, which was included in, in proposed budget talks last year, and it's something, there's only one vendor that we found that was local that will service this. Otherwise, if we go too far around, service cost, just to have a service guy come and service our system, it would be $400 or $500 just that they're gonna charge in mileage. So it was that, wasn't feasible. you know, to go that route, so this is why we went with this research to do it locally.
When you say fuel system software, this kind of just tracks your fuel use and,
Fuel use, purchasing, use by department, by vehicle and everything else. So it's not just ours, but, you know, Mendon Fire District and everything else is included in it.
I've been reading through meeting minutes for over the last several years, and I saw back in 2022, 2023 timeframe, there was a quarterly audit of fuel for the highway department. What was that about, and is it related to this?
Well, this system, they use it to do the audit,
Hmm.
but we've been doing a fuel audit yearly.
Well, we did a resolution to do a fuel audit and forgot what the reason why we couldn't do the fuel audit. So that's where it was.
Should we bring that back? The fuel audit?
I think this will give us
Yes.
the monthly and the quarterly readouts, so that we'll know where we're at. So when we do get audited, it should streamline that system. There won't be any guessing or false reporting or whatever.
It's an
Give us a lot
outdated
more
system.
accurate way to go.
We had problems with it last fall.
Okay. So the audit was because the system was,
And the,
accounting system was bad and
Right.
okay,
there's money put in the budget for this.
got it.
Thank you for the background.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay, we're moving into our board study session, where we're gonna be discussing the code of ethics. It's early enough, so we can get into this a little bit. Everyone has copies of it. So, we can look at this and talk about it now, or we can table this to give people more time to read through it and, come back to the next meeting with suggestions on improving. We intend to, with as many meetings as possible, to go through the employee handbook and update parts of the handbook that are desperately in need of updating. So this is one way to tackle this, is to bite off chunks of it at each meeting and have some discussion over it. Another way would be to create a committee to study it and report to the board. I think there's some advantages to us going over it ourselves.
So do you envision then that we would each spend time, like you'll take a chapter and we'll review it, we'll mark it up and say, here's what we like, or
Yep,
probably more importantly, here's what we don't like.
Yep.
And then just kind of
yeah, I would,
talk about it,
Yep.
figure out
yeah,
how we want to change.
then probably have our attorney take a look at whatever changes that we've come up with. Yes, Paul.
You're reading the code.
Yeah.
There is a policy and procedure. Is that what you got?
No, that's what I wanted.
No, this is part of the policy and procedure manual. This is,
There is a 2-page policy and procedure document that was handed to people in the ethics committee that we operated off of. You need to have that
Yeah.
if
So-
you're gonna make the code inclusive.
I believe that's what this is.
No,
It's the same policy and procedure on the top.
no,
Oh, they're talking about the
so
state.
anybody,
Only
State
the
code
document.
book.
It's a different document.
Okay.
Is it sort of like
You're
a,
talking about the employee handbook, with what Kim was.
I
looking
have
at.
no idea where it came from. What I know is that it was handed to the ethics committee and that was our operational document.
And there is a new code book out that I just got.
It's not in E code. The document that I'm talking about is not in E code. I can supply it if you don't.
Okay.
so this isn't what Mo is referring to, but there is a policy and procedures binder somewhere down there.
It's in his office, yeah.
That's what I was referring to. Like this, anybody can get off of the town website.
I questioned that, Kim, and went in, and this is exactly what was in its place in that binder.
Oh, really?
That's right.
So
Okay.
I questioned the same thing, because I didn't think that.
Because I feel like that there is a different code of ethics
Well, it's
somewhere.
It's entitled policy and procedure.
So this is why I feel like we need to take chunks of that binder and every month review this, because we all need to be familiar with it, and if we can't even find it.
I think it's a great idea. This came right out of that manual.
Okay.
And I tried to pick something that was
Smaller.
So
As our
that-
starter.
Yeah, to get started with.
I can supply Joe with the document that I'm talking about.
Okay,
Thank you.
So how is the policies and procedures version of the code of ethics different from, well, it's the same, but it like in your mind.
It states that there are 3 members of the
Breaks it
committee.
down.
It's the policy and procedure manual concerns itself mainly with conflicts of interest of financial matters. The policy and procedure thing that was handled to us made it somewhat significantly different definition, which included employee behavior as well.
Well, I think there was a town board resolution to change that policy at that time. Back in 24, maybe. So that would probably have replaced the one that we were originally thinking about, because I think they redid it all just for the Board of Ethics to meet.
yes.
I have all
Yeah.
that.
Although this says that it was adopted in 1970.
Yeah, no.
Tim, why don't you and I meet and
Yeah.
go back to the drawing board
Yeah.
on this? We'll get Mo's document and
Yeah.
we'll start fresh.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Will it even be on this one though?
Yeah.
Because this one's the same, just broader than the code of ethics chapter. What's our approach we want to take for?
And maybe we do a couple each month and we have them ahead of time so that we're prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the month to,
Give
we
out
have a list, like
give
here's
out
our order, we're
the
gonna go.
next 4 months worth of, so we have.
Shall we have the Board of Ethics review it also?
Don't look at Mo. You're not on the board
I'm not on
ethics anymore,
this.
yeah.
These code says there's 3 members, and for some reason there was 5 members of the board that I was on.
So they updated it, yes.
From 3 to 5?
Yeah, it was updated. My understanding is it was, at that time, it was hard to get people interested, so they shortened it to 3.
Well, the problem I have, if it was updated, how come it's not in the code?
So the
That's,
It should be part of our code if it was updated.
So the E code says 3 personnel, so we appointed 3 personnel. The E code would need to be adjusted via public hearing.
Along with,
We were to expand, try
you
to
need to
expand it to
review the
5.
document that I'm talking about to see whether you want to include it as part of the code.
Yeah.
Because it's significantly different than what you have.
Yes,
Michelle, sorry, can you clarify that the resolution changed it from 3 to 5 or 5 to 3?
no, it was 3, it went to 5.
It went to 5 in 2024, but that's not
Around
reflected in
that,
the E
yeah.
code. Okay,
Basically need to blend the 2 documents together.
I don't see where this one there says 3.
In-
it's in the E code.
yeah, it's a different part of the E code that sets the membership and stipulates 1 town employee and then 2 other members.
Oh.
But you can't use a board resolution to override code.
Yeah, right here it says 3.
Okay, so Mo and Kim and I will meet and discuss this and come up with a plan going forward.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to public comments. Gary?
Gary Little, 21 Sumble Road. I have a question when I believe the town was closed last Monday or something like that, or the town hall was closed or whatever.
The snow day?
Because of that weather. Are the essential employees compensated for having to work and not have the day off? I don't know how if it was the town employees, whether the town employees got paid or whether they had to take vacation or whatever. But if they're compensated without having to use their benefits, I think that the highway department, grounds or whatever, and they have to work, I think they should be compensated at time and a half for those hours. Going back to better benefits for the health insurance, it is just one point of thing. Town taxes are high, okay? I know we're not high relative to everybody else, but they seem high. The town needs to make a decision whether they want to be a bedroom community or they want to attract business. The way Henrietta is able to pay for a lot of their benefits is they got a lot of business. Fund the ambulance, they do everything. They got a lot of money coming in. That's what the town's got to decide. If you're gonna be a bedroom community, the residents are gonna pay. If you can attract business, they'll help keep the money down. Tonight's meeting. Very chaotic, I thought. The motions are made on the fly. The town residents weren't advised ahead of time of these are going to be the motions that we're making. They used to print them out, publicize them. You can change them, but at least the town residents get a chance to see what they're talking. Chaotic. I couldn't follow some of the things. The LED lights, the highway department, or at the highway. I couldn't tell if the motion passed to go ahead and do them, or whether it's gonna come back. But it didn't seem to have, we got a third price on it. But, it sounded like the board went ahead and passed it. You just can't tell. There was one other thing, but I don't remember what it was. But that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
I have one more thing to say.
go ahead.
I just was wondering if it's possible to leave an agenda that's not a draft agenda for the public to have when we walk in. Because this was missing several things, had duplications on it, and it's very hard to follow along when it's just the draft.
I'm Matt Fritz. I live in the Trump House down there. My signage is down right now, and a lot of people are asking me to bring it back. A lot of people are. And some don't like it, whatever. So the signage use, what you're coming up with, I'm gonna be spending a lot of money and redoing everything. So is that something I'm gonna be able to look at and figure out in time, or is that something getting done?
You can call me tomorrow if you wanna discuss it further.
You don't have any answers for me now about anything?
No, I don't.
This is public,
It's public
comment.
comment.
not,
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it was just an update. There was nothing.
the LED one,
Yeah.
it was just discussion.